point and always wondered what happens to us after we die, just read 2nd Ezra's chapter 7 verses 77 through 105. It literally tells you what. If you were like me at one point and always wondered what happens to us after we die, just read 2nd Ezra's chapter 7 verses 77 through 105. It literally tells you what. If you were like me at one point and always wondered what happens to us after we die, just read 2nd Ezra's chapter 7 verses 77 through 105. It literally tells you what happens when we die physically and what happens to our ruach, which is our spirit, when we die, and the things that will happen, what will be shown to you, and that you can't plead for a loved one or someone that you cared for to ask the Father for forgiveness, because we all have to answer for our own selves. No one can intercede for another. So definitely it's a good read, a good Bible study. Like, wow.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 9, verse 13. A foolish woman is clamorous, she is simple and knoweth nothing. Call Hulayim La, Al-Banawa, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rekat, Quadash. Double honor to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Akim out there on the highways and the byways. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Salutations to you speckled birds, you Israelite foreigners, and shalom to the Akwaf, sitting and listening in silence as the scriptures say to do so. Proverbs chapter 9, verse 13. A foolish woman is clamorous, she is simple and knoweth nothing. And this right here is a prime example of why a woman should not teach, why a woman should not try to be in the position of a prophet, of a spokesman, of a seer. However you want to claim the men of Yahweh Hashem Yahawashi. Okay? And as you see, and as you heard, and as you saw, okay, 2nd Ezra chapter 7, verses 77 to 105. And I literally opened up my Bible and showed you that there's the chapter stops at 70. Now May, which I don't know, maybe she, I went to 1st Esdras to chapter 7, and so obviously this woman has no idea what she's talking about. Okay? And this is a prime example of why Yahweh Hashem Yahawashi put the men in the position that he has put us in. Okay, everybody has their lot, everybody has their position, their stance in general in life. And you women's position is not the position to teach, to inform, to edify, okay, to warn, to condemn, okay, to mainly be in the position of a prophet, man. Okay, and we're gonna roll in the spirit because this is a basic lesson. Okay, so and Abanal right desires edifying, but again, Proverbs 9 verse 13, a foolish woman is clamorous, she is simple and knoweth nothing. And if she had any spiritual intellect, she would have opened up her Bible and verified what she's about to speak is profitable and true. Okay, and again, you have to understand what this really is going to be brought forth to the men that are actually out here, that are really sincere, really all in, that are really standing 10 toes, as Jake say, for Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, for this truth, man. We're marked men. Okay, it's a lot of things that come with the territory of our positions, man, and we embrace it, because again, this is not life. We seek better things to come. We seek righteousness. We seek dominion of the earth, man. Okay. Well, let's continue. Let's go. Let's prove it through the Bible, man. Okay. So this is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, who gave it. Okay, so our body gets put in the ground, it returns into dust, it returns into the earth, and our spirit goes back to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai to rest, okay, to receive judgment, okay, and it's played out upon the earth. So all, whether it be a heathen, the wicked, which is the Edomites, and Israelites, all spirits go back to the Heavenly Father, man. Everybody has rest. Everybody receives rest, and then you come back upon the earth to play out your judgment. Okay, and we'll prove that. Let's grab that right now, because again, like I stated, it's going to be straight to the point, rolling through the spirit. I didn't write no precepts down. There's no need. This is a basic lesson. You should know these basic scriptures. Okay, so this is 2nd Esdras, chapter 14, and I'm going to read verse 35. For after death, okay, so after death, so when we perish from the flesh and our spirit goes back to the Father. For after death shall the judgment come. So we go, and furthermore, let's hold that. So after death shall the judgment come. So let's go here real quick. Let's hold that, and let's go right here. So this is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 5, verse 10. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Hamashiach, that everyone may receive the things done in his body according to that he have done, whether it be good or bad. So after death, so when we perish in the flesh and our spirit goes back to the Heavenly Father, we get judged. We go before the throne of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, and we get judged, whether it is of righteousness or whether it is of wickedness. Okay, so 2nd Esdras chapter 14 verse 35. For after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again. Okay, so you live again. Okay, you live again. You come back upon the earth. Let's hold that. And again, we rolling in the spirit, man. Again, you should know these precepts, man. This is an easy lesson. Okay? Salakia. I think that's Exodus. 1 second. Con. So for after death shall the judgment come. So this is going to be the book of Exodus 34, and I'm going to read verse 7. Keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, and that will by no means clear the guilty. And here's the main point. Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children and upon the children's children unto the third and to the fourth generation. So we come back every third and fourth generation to play out our judgment. Okay, the Lord requires that which is past. And we are our forefathers. Okay, coming back from generation to generation. Okay, if you understand what is being stated and said. So let's jump back again. 2nd Esdras 14 verse 35. For after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again. And then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the ungodly shall be declared, man. So again, going back prior to what I said, and what I read also out of 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 10. So we're going to be judged off for our works, whether they are righteous or whether they are evil, wicked, ungodly. Okay? So we get judged, and that judgment comes back, as it stated, 2 Esdras 14, verse 35, for after death. So when our spirit is going back to the Heavenly Father, shall the judgment come when we shall live again. So what does that mean, when we shall live again? So let's let the Bible talk. Let's let the precepts speak out. Okay? Because that's what we do. We let the Bible bring forth the evidence. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, starting off at verse 15. That which have been is now, and that which is to be have already been. And the Most High requireth that which is past. So the Most High requires that judgment that He has passed while you were in the spiritual realm, while you were in the heavens. And that judgment, as stated, for after death shall the judgment come. Okay, when we shall live again. So we shall live again where? Where and when? Verse 16, Ecclesiastes 3, verse 16. And moreover, I saw under the sun, the earth, the place of judgment, the earth, that wickedness, because wickedness is upon the earth, was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there, man. So our judgment plays out upon the earth when we come back through our family lines, through the loins of one of our forefathers, of one of our kinsmen. So let's say it like that. Okay, so we come back, you come back, and you play out your judgment upon the earth. Why do you think you have people on the earth that have no limbs? That people that are born deaf, people that are born blind, people that are born with certain abnormal things about their bodies and certain sicknesses. Okay, that's the judgment, the lot that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai has ordained and brought forth upon them, man. Okay, point blank, period, man. There's no way around that. Okay, and let's grab some more precepts, because this is what happens when you perish. Okay. Matter of fact, Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 20. All go unto one place. All are of the dust, and all turn to dust again. Okay, so all go to one place. Okay, and that's talking about mankind. They all go back to the Heavenly Father that made all things, man. Okay? Point blank, period, man. And it's Salakia. Just grabbing these precepts just to prove the point. Bear with me. What is that? Salakia. Bear with me 1 second. Bear with me. What is that? Salakia. I think that's Job. That's Job chapter 12. So this is Job chapter 12, and I'm gonna read verses 9 to 10. Who knoweth not in all these that the hand of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai have wrought this, in whose hand is the soul of every living thing, and the breath of all mankind. So if the Lord has control of every single living thing that He created, He constructed the blueprint for it, why would not His creation, mankind, come back to Him when that flesh perisheth, when that flesh is being destroyed? And this is another one, Salaki, this came to mind for Wadiyah Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Let me see here. I think, bear with me. Let me see. Where is that? Salakia. No, it's one in Matthew. Yes, Khan. This is St. Matthew's chapter 10. And I'm going to read verse 28. And fear not them which killed the body. And that's talking about man. Fear not man that just can kill your body. Okay, because again, you always come back. You go into the heavens to rest and you come back. And we're going to prove that. That's going to be the last verse in the book of Job. Okay. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell, okay, in the grave. So the Lord is able, as I just read prior, Job 12, verses 9 and 10, the Lord has control of all his living creatures, everything that he created. So the Lord has control to kill soul and body. So what does that mean? The Lord can completely wipe you out of existence. Okay? He has the power over all his creation, man. Okay? Period, man. And there's something else I wanted to grab. You know, just to keep it, you know, this is all self-explanatory, man, reading these precepts. Okay? Something else I wanted to, let me see, Salakia. Just bear with me 1 second. Just trying to make sure I grab all the precepts that come to mind real quick, you know, for the lesson. And again, we rolling in the spirit, man. Ain't no need. This is a basic lesson. There's no need to write down anything. He's just rolling in the spirit, man. And, you know, Abanawa Ratazah is edifying, man. Okay? So, let me see here. 1 second. Okay, yeah, we'll just grab. We're gonna get ready to close it out. Just go straight to the point. You know, Lord willing, I pray this is edifying. So let's go to that book of Job that I said we're gonna read out of last. Okay, because Job, you know, made it clear, and it was beautiful. Okay, and this is to prove what I stated a second ago. Okay, so this is the book of Job, chapter 3. And this is self-explanatory. We'll start off at verse 11. Why died I not from the womb? Okay, Job 3, verse 11. Why died I not from the womb? Why did I not give up the ghost when I came out of the belly? Why did the knees prevent me, or why the breast that I should suck? For now should I have for now should I have lain still and been quiet. I should have slept, then had I been at rest. Okay, so when we perish, when we go back to the spiritual realm, we rest. Okay, we have a time of ease, a time of relaxation, man. Okay, again, you know, we get judged and we play out our judgment when we come back on the earth. But while we're in the heavens, we rest. Okay. Verse 13 again. For now should I have lain still and been quiet. I should have slept. Then had I been at rest with kings and counselors of the earth, which built desolate places for themselves, or with the princes that had gold, who filled their houses with silver, or as in hidden untimely birth, I had not been as infants which never saw light. There the wicked, listen, there the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest. And we're weary because Israel, every nation has had us in bondage. We have gone through all types of hell, all types of chastisement, all types of judgment from the Heavenly Father, man. So when actually, matter of fact, Salaki, goodness gracious, let me grab this, man. The Wadi Yahweh Shimi Hawashai. I think this might be something I want. Let me see real quick. What is that? Salaki, yeah. What is that? What is that? What is that? What is that? I got it in mind. Let me see here. Bear with me. What chapter? I know it's what chapter is that? I think that's chapter 15. What is that? Bear with me, bear with me. Maybe that's Con. I found it. So this is 2 Corinthians chapter 5. Yep, chapter 5. Verse 6. Therefore, we are always confident, knowing that thou wilt, we are at home in the body. We are absent from the Lord. So with us being in these vowed prisons, these bodies were absent from Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Continuing on, verse 7. For we walk by faith, not by sight. We are confident, I say, and willing rather to be absent from the body and to be present with the Lord. So when you die, you're present with the Lord, man. When you're absent from this carnal flesh, okay, this vowed prison, and you're in the spiritual realm, you're present with the Lord, man. Okay? That's the point I wanted to make. So let's jump back to Job and close it on out. Job chapter 3, verse 17. There the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest. There the prisoners rest together. They hear not the voice of the oppressor. The small and the great are there, and the servant is free from his master. Okay? Point blank period, man. Straight to the point, man. So that's what it is, man. You know, in a short nutshell, man. So I'm gonna leave it right there, man. You know, I don't want to wrap this up, man. I hope and I pray that this was edifying, uplifting, and informative to the true, sincere Aki and Akwaf. So with that, I'm just gonna say, Shabbat Shalom.